Clemson beat Miami on Valentine's Day. That improves their record to 17-7, 7-6 in the ACC. They've now won 3 straight. And frankly, they're all but a lock for the NCAA tournament. It wasn't that long ago before this 3-game win streak they're on now, where they went 2-3 over a 5-game stretch, with the only wins being home wins against very weak Boston College, Louisville. Things were not looking good. Seemed like the season could really spiral. They've really responded, definitely earned my respect, and this team really deserves your respect for the way they responded to that. Obviously, getting the road win at UNC in Chapel Hill, only the second ever time Clemson's done that. They're 2-60 all time in Chapel Hill. So I think that maybe changed their confidence over these last 3 games. It's incredible. So they were tied 70-70 at UNC with 3:16 to go. They were tied 60-60 with 3:37 to go at Syracuse, who, by the way, just beat UNC. And they were tied 57-57 with 5:52 left in this game at home against Miami. They won all 3, and then remarkably, they did it by a combined 30 points, with a big chunk of that coming in the win over Miami, where they went on a 24-3 run at one point in the game to win that game by 17. A couple guys deserve a special shout out. I think the number one would be Chase Hunter. He was excellent, 6 for 14 for 20 points, knocked down 5 3-pointers. He was a really solid 3-point shooter last season, and he hasn't been this year. I'm going to pull up the numbers here, but he struggled immensely for 3 on the season. Even after making 5 in this contest, he's still only at 30.8% on the year. Last year, he was 35.6%. And that's really hurt Clemson. You see how big of a difference it can make when he's shooting them well. He doesn't have to make 5 a game, but if he could shoot them closer to that 35.6 clip like he did last season, if he could do that down the stretch, that's going to go a long way in making Clemson really dangerous in the ACC and NCAA tournament. Another guy to call out was Jack Clark. I've been a little bit critical of him, at least privately. He seemed very passive on offense. I know he's coming back from hernia injury, but if he's not healthy, can you really keep playing him? And he's starting and playing a ton of minutes. And he's a good rebounder and good defensively. But now, if he can keep doing this on offense, this makes Clemson a much better team. He had 8 points, but more impressive, he was involved. He was distributing it well. He had 3 assists. He also had just some good post-entry passes that didn't necessarily turn into assists. But he was a plus player, on more than just the glass and defense, right? He was helping them on offense as well. It was a well-rounded game. And it was the first time, really, I thought he looked like the veteran, kind of crafty, all-around contributor that they wanted and they saw at NC State that they brought in through the portal. So I think Chase Hunter starting to make threes, and he's been playing better now for at least the last 2 games. And maybe this is the start of it for Jack Clark. If everyone stays healthy and those guys are starting to elevate their game, this team could find another level. It was interesting. PJ Hall and Shefflin struggled. They only attempted combined 1 2-point field goal in the entire first half. Their only points came on a first half PJ 3-pointer. And then in the second half, it seemed like they were going to try to, recommit to working through the post. And they did that at the beginning, but those two just didn't really have it tonight. And so it was really Hunter and Gerard, and to some extent Jack Clark, who carried the offense, which is great that they could do it. They could win multiple ways. And then, Clemson pulled both. Brownell kind of made a gutsy call to remove them both from the game with something around 6 minutes to go. That's really when Clemson started a big run. He puts them both back in, and they kind of had one of the plays that sort of sealed the game. A great pass from Shefflin to Hall for a dunk that put Clemson up 9 before Jack Clark's real dagger on a fadeaway, a little kind of mid-range or more like post fadeaway jumper that really put him up 11 and ended it. And then Hall and Hunter added 3-pointers just for a few extra points to win by 17. But great win there. And as you look at this team, I said they're a lock for the tournament. Obviously, they can't lose out or something, but their upcoming schedule is pretty easy. They don't need more, resume wins. They just need to keep adding to the record. Joe Lunardi has them either as a 5 or a 6, depends on. It looks like yesterday was a 6. Now before the win it was a 5. So I assume after the win it's definitely a 5, or maybe even better. CBS's Jerry Palm, and this is as of 2 days ago, February 12th. So before the game, for the win over Miami, had him as a 4 seed playing against 13 seed UC Irvine. So that's the UConn's bracket, which isn't ideal, but nevertheless, that would set them up to play UC Irvine and Utah State in that scenario. Clemson is putting themselves in position to make another Sweet 16 run. I don't know what they can do beyond that, but a 4 seed seems like best case scenario. But even a 5 or 6, if you can get a 6 and play one of these 11s that has to play a playing game, all of those are favorable. The goal I had for this team coming in was, let's make the tournament and actually advance out of the round of 64. Clemson under Coach Brownell has done it one time. Making the tournament and losing right away, or playing a playing game and then losing the round of 64 is not enough. This is a team with this veteran group really should be winning a game in the NCAA tournament, and everything we're seeing points to them being able to do that. Their upcoming schedule now, so they've just won at North Carolina, at Syracuse, and then they came home, beat Miami. Now they host NC State on Saturday night before they go to Georgia Tech, who, although they did win in Clemson, they are only the 139th ranked team in KenPom. It's a very winnable road game. Then they come home for Florida State, and then Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh will be a tough home game. They go on the road to Notre Dame. Notre Dame is one of the weaker teams in the ACC before they host Syracuse again, who they are to be on the road. And then they'll have a very, very tough game against Wake Forest, who is maybe they're more liked by KenPom analytics than their resume, but I think that'll be a tough game. So Clemson's got a great road ahead, great chance. Season looked like it was on the brink of collapse, but they've over these last 3 games done a lot. So really happy for them. Happy to see that. As always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We're getting close to 900, and the goal is to hit 1,000, where you can become a full member, a full partner with YouTube. So if you haven't already subscribed, I really appreciate it if you could do that. And of course, don't forget to like this video. It really helps it get out to a lot of people, especially basketball content, which doesn't go quite as viral or go quite as crazy as football. So if you could like this, I'd really appreciate it. But as always, go Tigers.